I don't have anything.
You don't have fucking... Okay.
I don't know what we were doing for an intro, but I've had my brain washed in acid for the last 30 minutes. It's 30, like hour and a half. So
You've bleached your brain, is what you're telling me.
Okay, do you remember the NFT party where they had, like, UV lights that just burn your fucking retinas out?
The medical grade ones that are for disinfecting. But
Correct.
They pointed them at their eyeballs?
Yes.
Because they love NFTs so much, they can't afford anyone to look at them again, let alone themselves. Those people? Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. That's what we did, but to our frontal lobes instead of our retinas.
But, yeah. No, that sounds right, actually. Yeah.
Kind of feel like that, so I don't... Welcome to Rough Cuts. I don't know.
Dogs. They're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Hey, Double B. How are you doing?
Just fine. I finally got my radio connection to the planet Uranus licked. It was a problem, but a deep dive into it really did the trick.
That's great, Bart.
Hey, right along tails.
What?
Word on the street is that Rich Carbs is dropping out of the mayoral race.
Isn't Barney still running?
We seem to have stumbled into a fucking wasp's nest this time. But how's it going, everybody? I'm Boix. This is Ilion. This is Rough Cuts, where we watch movies and then rate the dogs at the end, but we fucked up because this isn't a movie.
We found a production company that's interesting. We actually had found them before, but didn't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your liver recipe? Would you like to talk about the liver recipe that you have?
Because I have a liver recipe, and in the recipe, I get the
Check
liver,
out
you see, and then...
Star Paws, a movie that is about... what, like 45 minutes worth of them going, well, the liver recipe. See, I have a liver recipe, and you stick it in the oven at 375, and then you get onions. Okay, so now you've got the onions for my liver recipe.
In the oven. Did you put it to 325? Because that's what I said earlier, not the other number.
So it turns out that they have 400 movies of that, and we found another one.
Turns out.
Yeah,
weird, huh?
I just wanted, you linked me, this is Wow Now Entertainment, also known as about, like 12 other companies, Family.tv.
It's very simple. They're Wow Now Entertainment, or FamilyEntertainment.tv, or Brainy Pants, or Toe Jams, or Doc TV, or Pup TV, or Free Movies and TV, or Dream Machine Animation. You know...
Oh, okay.
Whatever mask they feel like putting on that day.
Oh, there's also Chicken Stew. Chicken Stew presents Wacky Weasels.
Yep.
Chicken Stew presents Captain Small Fry. Chicken Stew presents Bad Hens. Chicken Stew presents Bad Chickens. Chicken Stew presents Bad Weasels. Chicken Stew. Chicken Stew presents Master Waddles. Chicken Stew 2. Chicken Stew presents Free Range. Chicken Stew...
And I assume Star Paws is one of their fake names as well, because they say the Star Paws team is back for Star Paws when they put out Jurassic Bark, which we haven't watched, and now I don't think I will.
Yeah, there's a second Star Paws. Just as an example of, I love how much they are like shotgun firing, let's see if we can get some shit that will accidentally get eyeballs.
Yeah.
They're like The Asylum, or honestly, they almost feel more like those like fake children's TV shows on YouTube that were
the like AI created ones.
Yes, that are like
watch
Belle
Elsa from
and
Frozen.
Elsa. Yes,
watch Elsa from Frozen shoot a fox.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, okay,
it's all of that, where it's like this mashup of all of these fucking real properties that are just stuck together into a blender of like bad AI from like 15 years ago.
Yep.
And just shit out constantly, but they're like tagged with every major like thing that they can to try and hit the algorithm. To give an idea of that, I was looking at the A to Z of their movie list, and it goes Bible Bees 2, Bible Buzz, Bible Friends, Bible Town, A Yeti Stole Christmas, Bigfoot Goes to Hell, Bigfoot versus Krampus, Bigfoot versus Megalodon 2. You'll notice there's not a Bigfoot versus Megalodon. There's just a Bigfoot versus Megalodon 2.
Because you're like, whoa, they made a sequel? That must be great. I never heard of the first one.
Bonksters Gross Science, the movie. Bonksters Gross Science, Ants. Like, it's Border Cartel. Like, it goes immediately from, like, Bible shit to Christmas shit to schlock B
just
movie.
Whatever they
fake
can
shit.
find. Yeah.
Yes, it's just like, again, it's the shotgun, throw spaghetti at the wall, see if it fucking sticks. Just whatever's popular this week on the algorithm, let's try and hit as many of those like hashtags as possible and make a movie in probably like a month. Because they did 2 of these movies for Dogtown. Dogtown 3.
They'll do the same thing that Asylum does too, where they'll like make a movie poster that looks like the real movie, but it's different enough to not be sued.
Yeah, they have a bunch of Kung Fu Panda movies that are like Panda Fighter, Kung Fu Masters. They have all that.
Crazy Birds instead of Angry Birds, things like that.
Fish Story instead of Finding Nemo, which has an alternate title of Finding Jesus.
Finding Jesus, yeah. Because they're also trying to get the Christian money. Because that is, if you can get that Christian money, that is...
Well, and they'll put up with some shit,
They will.
Like...
And then there's also just baffling things they made. Like, I linked you Van Helsing. Not that one. This is about a character who's called Jack Van Helsing, who is an astronaut who's trying to colonize Mars. Now, what does that have to do with Van Helsing?
Yep.
Nothing.
Oh, man. I just found the Haunted Transylvania poster.
Yup. Hotel Transylvania.
Oh. Well, they rip off Paranorman, and then Transylvania with the second one of Haunted Transylvania 2. These posters are like such obvious, horrible. I'm sending them to you.
No, I've seen
I wish.
Don't
worry.
Like
I wish I could show the viewers, the listeners, because oh man, they are. Just look them up. Look up Haunted Transylvania and Haunted Transylvania 2. They're exactly what you expect. They're the transmorphers. It's the let's get this as close as possible to the actual thing that people would want, but just slightly enough that maybe we don't get sued.
Yeah.
It's totally the Asylum thing.
Nobody's gonna watch more than 4 minutes of this, right? Like, nobody in their right mind would sit through 4 minutes of one of these movies and then think, I want more.
Yeah, it's
more, you know?
Yeah, they're never gonna get a repeat customer. I don't think that's the point of this. Yeah, it's they must make I bet that they take less than 2 weeks to make a movie.
2 weeks.
That's
ooh.
Well, I said
you think
less
it's that long? Okay.
I said less than 2 weeks to make.
I was gonna say how much of their afternoon did they spend on this one? That was gonna be my guess. I think they made this in an afternoon after hastily writing down some notes. And then they just shit it out. Because the assets in this thing are like free Unreal assets.
Yes.
With very badly mocap VR headset animation models.
Yeah, this is VR Chat the movie, except that if it was in VR Chat, they would move more.
It would be better.
Like,
somehow.
Very honestly, this is not an exaggeration, but they have one animation, quote unquote, for all of the characters. Like, they just use one set of stock animations. All of the character models are basically exactly the same, but slightly, like, changed
different
in the
textures.
skins.
Different
exactly.
textures,
yeah. Like, But other than that, like, they're the same size and shape, though, because they use the same animation for all of them. And the animations that they have, the only things that they do, like, we noted right away, none of them ever are sitting.
They can stand and they can walk.
Yes.
That's it.
Those are the only two things that any character does in this movie.
And if they need to sit, they have a high enough thing in front of them.
Yes. That it looks like they're at the table.
Looks like they're sitting, but they're not.
Yeah. That's the only thing that they do.
And the asset areas they have are a free military base, which is important for Dogtown.
It looks so much like a TF2 map.
It's like TF2 or a Fortnite map or something like that. Like, it's cartoony enough.
It really feels like, having played a lot of TF2, it really feels like the new TF2 like seal map thing.
They have like a garage that has oscilloscopes and like a workbench and stuff, and that feels like it's out of like Half-Life or something. It's weird.
Yeah.
They have a newsroom, I guess, and then they have a house, a kitchen. Because they had a city too, but like the city sucks ass. It all
sucks ass.
And then because they don't have animations, they don't have locations.
Yeah.
What they end up having to do is just tell you things are happening, and then they switch quickly to somebody else while that person talks off screen about what they're doing.
Like, for example, there was the dog that, so at one point, they go, oh, look, there's cats. And he goes, cats, where are cats? And has a freak out. But when he starts freaking out, they switch to the other character to just show a tight shot of that character's face as he sits there silently watching the freak out.
Yeah.
But not showing anything of the freak out because they can't animate it. And so then they just go back to a wide shot of both of them standing there doing their idle animation and talking.
And then even when they have animation, like when they're walking,
yeah,
they don't have enough animation. So what they do is they have them walk down a street, let's say.
Well, and they also don't have enough backgrounds.
No, but they have them walk down a street once, and then every time it cuts to that character talking, they cut back to the scene of when they were talking during that walk animation.
Yes.
So you'll constantly see them like walking in loops back and forth over the same street.
Yeah, it'll just have like the background keep repeating over and over and over and over throughout like a 5-minute period of them talking, going, hey, do you want to be mayor? Well, mayor is really important. It's a big civic duty. Well, what is mayor? Mayor means that you run things. Oh, I don't want to run things. But what else would you do as mayor? Well, you would talk to your constituents. Oh, what are constituents? Those are the people that live in your city.
And my liver recipe?
So I would like be ruling over these people? Well, you wouldn't rule over them. They would need to vote for you. Oh, what's voting? Voting is that, and like it.
A mayor is the head of a city or town who oversees the
What's a mayor? Branch of local mayor. There's a government tree planted somewhere around here? I thought I marked every tree in Dogtown at least once. How could I have missed that?
Not that kind of branch, Bob. Sometimes the word branch is used to describe something that's a part of something
Oh my
else.
god, this dude that's just slaying
What
shit.
does the branch do?
Well, there's a couple of branches of local government. The legislative branch makes the laws. The executive branch
This is the
carries
worst
out the
episode of
laws.
Schoolhouse Rock I've ever
You
seen.
oversee everything to make sure that any decisions made is what's best for your city.
Oh, this kind of sounds complicated. I'm not good at sitting behind a desk and overseeing stuff.
Well, that's only part of the job. Another part is getting out there in the community and finding out what it needs.
That's the dialogue.
Back and forth. But like when it goes to one character, they'll be at the back of the street. The next character will be at the front of the street, and then it'll cut back to the character in the back of the street.
Yes.
Like there's no continuity
like
to where they are because they're just clipping that one spot of where they had them moving.
Yeah.
And then pasting it in without matching the mouths. They're just
they had assets for a street.
Yeah.
And they had assets for these two dog like the dog character and the animation, and then just switch skins on it.
Dog's a bit of a stretch.
And
they're like
well, then what they did
models.
is they filmed them going down this street inside of this essentially like 3D asset flip. And then what they did is they just loop that footage over and over and over and cut different parts of it for when they're talking, and that's it. Like,
yes.
It's a 10-second them walking down this tiny little strip of a map that they have, and then they just loop it for everything.
And looking at the WoW Now Entertainment fandom wiki, which is
I love 2024.
a hell of a thing to say. This appears to be a running theme in their animations, all 400 of them, where they just reuse assets and reuse animation cycles and loop things.
I love that we have gotten to a technological point where we have film companies doing this shit so that they can hit algorithms to get onto fake fandom, because fandom's also doing the same algorithm bullshit. And it's just all the way down. It's just fucking junk from the top to the bottom. It's like just digging through shit. I love that this is where we're at. I'm so glad.
Now, you gotta not let personal feelings get in the way of your work, you know. Because it's a constituent, and when you get back from the podcast, I put out an aspirin and a line of coke on the toilet seat for you, so you're gonna need it.
Oh my god. Fucking all the conversations are that, and like some of them are really weirdly out of. They're not for kids movies, like you said. Like there's, yeah. At first, it starts like kind of trying to pretend to be educational because it's talking about how
branches
an election works and branches of government and like. But it's just basically them reading off of Wikipedia. I bet
are
if we
just
went
reading
to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Like, I bet if we went to Wikipedia, we would get that exact thing. Like, this is for sure plagiarized.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but it just goes into things that
there's like the scene.
It's hard to describe.
There's the scene where Bob is telling the story about how he went to Mexico to go see his cousin. But not
racism.
like an eyeball, but like an eye chihuahua, because he's a chihuahua, because they're dogs. And when he went to go see they went to go get spicy food. But Bob doesn't like spicy food. So after he ate the spicy food
chihuahua
that he got from in Mexico, then he got the shits. So but his tongue was also hot because it was spicy. So he would shit in a bucket full of water, and then he would flip over and then dunk his tongue in there to stop the spicy, and then flip over and put his ass back in because it was hot, and then flip over and dunk his tongue in. And then the other character...
This is an actual thing that they said, and an actual... like, you basically nailed the way that they describe it.
And then the other character's like, wow, I hope you used 2 separate buckets for that. And then they laughed.
I see. See what I did there? I see.
Yeah! Anyway, while we were visiting, the only things that we ate were spicy foods smothered in hot sauce. At one point, I had to alternate between sticking my tongue and my tush into a bucket of cold water. Ooh.
I heard that you were using separate buckets.
And then the scene ended. That was the thing that I saw.
That's just the thing that they did. And they get into... This gets political.
Very quickly, yes.
Very quickly,
yes.
In weird ways. I have no idea what they're trying to say or do, and I don't think that they know. I think that they're just... It's... Okay, well, we gotta fill time in this thing to make it an hour so it seems like an actual movie.
Correct.
So let's just write stuff down. And so what the plot, ostensibly, of this movie is...
Oh, you're gonna explain the plot. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Is, see, in Dogtown 2, which there is no Dogtown 1. In Dogtown 2, they explain the plot of Dogtown 2, where the main dog, Bob Wags, His dad, Mayor J. God, I can't believe I know
Mayor
this.
J,
Like,
also known as Jack Russell, who has a different
also
name
known as Jack
than
Russell.
Bob Wags, who is his son.
And he's also not a Jack Russell.
No.
At all. Not even close. He is trying to win an election, but his opponents are stealing it, I guess, and his son finds out and catches them, and then they lose the election. And now, that meant that the Mayor J abdicated his mayoralness and gave it to his son through hereditary...
And his son's friend. They're both
And his
mayors.
son's friend. Yes, yeah. Well, as deputy mayor, yes.
Yeah.
And made them mayors, and that's off screen from Dogtown 2. Now Dogtown 3, they're like, wait, I'm mayor? I don't want to be mayor. I don't know how to fucking do anything. I'm too fucking stupid. And the other... Okay. Listen to this plot.
Yeah.
So he becomes mayor, but his challenger says the election was stolen and is now trying to overthrow it through the courts.
And on news.
On
going to
news
channels to tell about how Jack stole the election.
And that he has proof of it. And then they go, well, what's the proof? And he goes, well, here, let me monologue for a while. And they go, huh, that's very interesting. You should just keep monologuing. And everybody else goes, wait, but he's not showing off any proof. Why do you have him on the news?
And they're like, this is great
Good
for
question.
ratings. Anyway, he's about to tell us the truth. We know because he said it.
Because he said that he's going to. Anyway, so he just keeps on selling the truth. And the truth is that this election must have been stolen by his opponents. Because they hate him. Because he speaks the truth. Unlike other politicians.
Uh-huh.
And he is an immigrant that had a different name. But he goes by a new name because that was embarrassing. Because he wasn't as rich and powerful
but the news
as he
isn't
pretended to
explaining
be.
that. That's his dirty secret. That
Oh, I know. I'm just, yeah.
That the internet has to find.
That the internet finds out, yeah.
The
yeah.
pirates. The pirates.
And then everybody
don't
starts
worry.
calling him by his... They were going to threaten to call him by his other name, Poopy Pants.
Which is bad, because that'll ruin his reputation if they call him by his real name, Rich and Liver Poopy Drawers. Because that's as far as they got on writing a name.
But, this is so weirdly, obviously a Donald Trump analog.
It's just Donald Trump, and they're pointing out that it's bad. But then they make a valid point.
But then he has a lot of valid points. Yeah, he's got a lot of valid points.
And that's a problem.
Yes, it's a little bit. Because he goes on the news and they go, well, how did he steal the election? He goes, well, he won the election, but then he just abdicated and gave it to his kid, and that's not how democracies work. Okay, that's actually pretty good. That's a good point.
But he has a good point, and then the movie's like, no, that's a terrible point.
Yeah.
We need to get him out of this election. That the news is going to decide we need to redo, because that's how democracy works. When the news channel says we're doing another election.
Yeah, so they go to their dad, Mayor J, who is the deep state running the government from behind the scenes.
And I'm like, okay,
I'm not kidding.
What was the point they were trying to make, though?
And then they go, wait a minute, I know what we should do. What we should do is we should blackmail him. Except it's not blackmail if you have nothing to hide.
They do make a point of saying it's not blackmail if you have nothing to hide. We're just here to do a little blackmail. If you got nothing to hide, it's not blackmail then. It's just lies. Yeah. The pirate over on Military Island told us.
Democracy in action, kids.
The fuck?
I feel like I'm being blackmailed.
Oh, it's only blackmail if you have something to hide.
I have nothing to hide, but I will tell you both something.
Oh yeah? What's that?
And like, they're clearly saying Trump was bad, and he's the villain.
Yes.
But what the mayor did is also bad.
As bad or worse, yes. Yep.
But that's not the message.
No.
The message is be yourself.
Yes, because then the kids realize... Well, see, Bob Wags realizes that he doesn't actually want to be mayor. What he wants to do is snort cocaine and go on to Fox News all the time and scandal. I mean, wait, and have like a...
But because he knows what you know,
Have
what we
laptops
know, that we know what you
constantly.
know, that you know we know, that we know you know what we know.
Know why? Because we know something that you don't know that we know. But now that we know, you're gonna know we know. And it won't be long before everyone else knows that you know what you know, and they know too.
I'm not even joking about he wants to, like, go and have scandals. He's, like, sitting there like, I want to go and sniff butts and, like,
He just
slide
wants
down
to
water
sniff
slides.
butts, yeah.
They make it... But they almost... I wonder... It almost hits into the, like, weird Fox News obsession with Hunter Biden. Like, it almost does. It gets close.
They don't talk
it hits
about
a line.
They don't talk about Bob's laptop, but they're close.
They're close. They're real close.
They're real close.
And it's just...
Yeah,
why is this all slightly analogous to real life, but not act like through this weird, distorted lens? It's so fucked.
The news
Everything
actor
about
even
this.
says something about, like, the mayor speaking a lot of malarkey, which is a very specific term to a certain president.
Yes.
So I'm like, what were they doing? Why was there a racist Italian elephant? What did that have to do with anything?
Well, they needed to tie it into Zoo Wars and Zoo Wars 2, where they had an elephant asset that looks the same.
The Paw Patrollers, which are not the Paw Patrol.
Well, but they are, because they're also cops.
Because they're cops.
And they answer only to the mayor, which, seems...
The mayor who gave up his mayor duties to his son and his friends. Because he didn't feel like doing it anymore, and thus breaking the democratic process. Got the cops to go to an Italian stereotype elephant to get them to get an idea to have... They were trying to get the rich to lie or something, to squeal to the cops, so the Italian's like, oh, just put some nipple clamps on him and tie him to a fucking car battery. Hey, I got my ghoul.
Oh, that's what you do, man. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, a pizza, a lasagna. And it's just like, what the fuck does this mean?
Why is the elephant Italian? Why is there no other animal? It's all dogs and then one elephant.
What is... Why is
I want to remind everybody that the entirety of this story, everything that we're telling you, is told exclusively through tight shots of, like, assets that don't really move hardly. Like, they basically do, like, the fighting game idle animation of slightly bobbing up and down. And they're all exactly the same size and shape, including facial structure, because there's only one actual model.
It's 65 minutes of just talking in a circle.
Yes.
But in different areas in a circle.
Yes.
Yes.
And again, of the same character, just slightly different colors every time it goes to another character, because that's how you can determine that it's someone new.
So, after Bob and Chester, who are current mayor, because Bob's dad said they should be mayor because he's overwhelmed and he doesn't want to be mayor, and now they're mayor because that's how the electoral system works. They talked Rich...
This is the worst episode of Schoolhouse Rock fucking ever.
...into dropping out of the election by blackmailing him about his name, Drumpf. Which is funny because if you just call him his real name and you make fun of it, then you'll have to drop out.
His power just drains from his body.
He has no power anymore.
Once you know his true name, then you can control him.
This is what liberals on Twitter believed in 2021. I guess. Then they decide they don't want to be mayor because it's too much work and they want to be lazy and go after frisbees
sniff butts
and sniff
ass.
I guess. So then they come up with a scheme to get the dad to take over the mayor job again, which was his job anyways because he got elected. But he didn't want to be elected, so he made the son the mayor. But he has a plan to become mayor again because he wants to be mayor again because he realizes his son is very dumb, and he's gonna trick them into making him mayor, but they're trying to trick him into making him mayor again, and
that's like the last 15 minutes of the movie, right? Like, it just suddenly does that.
But they both are on the same plan of making him mayor, so why didn't they just make him mayor? But then why was he not mayor?
Well, they needed another 15 minutes of movie to make it so that it was 90 minutes exactly, and then they could sell it on streaming services.
But it wasn't 90 minutes, it just felt longer. It was 65.
It fucking was, you're right, it was only 60.
The reason I picked this is because
it was only 60 minutes. At 11 minutes in, I was like, okay, Boykes, we can still switch movies if we want. We can just end this.
11 minutes. I made it 30 seconds before pausing and being like, I can't do this. I can't fucking do this. Okay, is it familyentertainment.tv or family@entertainment.tv? That's the question.
Yes. Welcome to Dogtown, the fuzziest and friendliest place ever.
I can't do this. My fight or flight is already kicking in.
You're in. Just fucking play the movie.
Dogtown is full of cute little animals.
Well, but when we got to 11 minutes, I'm like, okay, like, we could just change movies. And then you went like, well, we could, but the alternative is, this is only another 50 minutes.
We can just be done.
And then we're just done.
That was a really long 50 minutes.
It was very, very long, yes.
I made a lot of mistakes. I made a few mistakes. So, like that time you let your son become mayor. I made a lot of mistakes.
Wow, have you been on a roller coaster ride?
Now that Rich and Barney are out of the race for mayor, what's your view on what the people of Dogtown should do next?
I'm afraid I made a big mistake, ladies.
You mean by just giving your son the job of mayor?
Okay, I made a couple of mistakes. The one that you was definitely a mistake.
Okay, no, you're right.
What's the other?
No, okay, you cooking.
Well, to be perfectly honest.
I think I'm broken.
I
think this movie broke me.
I kind of fucking died laughing when the blackmail line actually killed me. I was lulled into such a, like, state of, I don't even know, meditative state. Like, I was like, this movie was sliding off of me like oil on water, and then all of a sudden, that thing punched through and hit me right in the gut.
And then the twist at the very end.
Fucked.
At the very end, when it cuts to the credits, it's like, God is dog spelled
Oh my god, yes. Yeah, all of a sudden they're like, wait, how can we, like, put a hashtag Bible on this movie? How do we make this, how do we sell this to Christians at the end so we can also get that? It's not, it's...
Remember...
Oh, oh boy. Huh? Uh-huh. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this was religious. Oh,
no!
Was it? No!
Was it? We need to get all the demographics so we can accidentally have somebody buy this thing for their child and think that it's a real
definitely
movie.
A Christian movie. Listen to the credits. It was a Christian message.
It
Remember,
says God.
Kids, be yourself. Don't be someone else. If your name's Drump, you should just use that. That's the name. I mean, Poopy Butthole. What did I say? That's his name.
God, it was what? So it was Rich and Liver Poopy Pants was what they came up with.
Rich liver poopy pants. Which the liver thing is clearly Star Paws influence.
Yes, that very much. I was like, oh fuck. Like we kind of there was something where we got like 3 or 4 minutes into this. We didn't realize until afterwards that this was the Star Paws company. But we were like 4 minutes in and you went, liver recipe? Do you have the liver recipe? Like we both started to be like, wait, what? This is...
Because it felt just like
same energy.
It
like,
felt
what
just
is
like
this?
it. Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, like it was... That was the least surprising thing to discover about this whole thing, is just to be like, oh, this is the Star Paws people. Gotcha.
They were so stressed for time at 65 minutes, like, to try and even get it that long, that they're like, I'm going to... If you talk about bones, I'll want a nom. Nom? What does nom mean? Oh no, bones.
Oh, you'll find out what it means very soon.
I'm biting so many bones. Oh, he's gonna bite bones with his nom?
It's like he's biting bones.
Nom? Oh, nom,
was
nom,
that
nom,
nomming?
And it was like 2 minutes of this guy just into a mic, ASMR, saying nom, 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 nom. It was like... It was like that. But also like the Minecraft...
Yeah. But it's just that. As everybody, it goes from like one character model to the next character model to the next character model for reaction shots, but they don't animate them.
And then afterwards...
And they're all the same model.
The other character's just like, oh, nomming means to eat. Like, it's educational, but it's not.
Bones! Giant bones! Big crunchy bones!
So I guess to nom something means to eat up yummy food?
Like, they just have to explain everything. Is what their way to stretch for time is they'll go, oh, see, I went and smelled something and it smelled bad. Oh, what did it smell like? Oh, it smelled like a poopy butt. Oh, well, what were you smelling? It was because I was smelling a poopy butt. But I like smelling poopy butts, though, because I'm a dog. Dogs like doing that sometimes.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen a dog where they go sniff and they sniff a butt? It's like a butt, but they sniff it. And it smells bad because butts where your poop comes from.
I really licked my trip to Uranus. I made
my
a deep
God,
dive.
What the fuck? I forgot. I almost forgot about that. This is the part that we're talking about where there's
like
just
an
things
anal
in
sex
there
joke in the middle.
Yes, we did a real deep dive with but I really licked my Uranus problem. Well, that deep dive into the dark holes of the outer space.
And then there was the whole thing about
what?
The one dog trying to touch the other dog's belly and feel him up.
Yeah.
And they were both cops, and none of them were shooting a dog, and it was weird.
Well, and they could have done that 2 birds with 1 stone in this movie.
It's really easy, just,
shoot a person and a dog, 2 for 1, there you go. Easy to be a cop in this universe.
The whole thing is just... It's clearly a scam.
It's bang it out in an afternoon, is what this is.
It clearly is. And the director, it has to be a pseudonym. It can't be a real name.
Yeah.
Because this person doesn't exist. It's like... His name is supposedly, Ryan Paulin.
Mm-hmm.
Pollin. But this person doesn't exist. They are only listed on IMDb or Vudu or Rotten Tomatoes for Dogtown 2 and Dogtown 3. These 2 films. And films is a stretch. I have to admit. But this person doesn't exist. I tried looking animator. I tried just looking up the name. I tried looking it up with the studio. It's not a real person.
No, I mean, so I saw a bunch of their stuff has, like, writer-director as BC14.
Oh, so that's, like, I guess what they're calling their writing group, but...
I don't know. I don't know how they've managed to, like, I think that just nobody cares to call them on any of it. Like, I think that they just make up a name and just throw it on there because that's like, the shit that they're doing.
It's not an Oliver Daly situation where we know the person exists, but we don't know how they got the budget. I don't think this person's even real.
Yeah,
I don't think anything associated with this is real. They all used fake aliases. They all tried to put as little credit as they could to themselves, so none of it could come back. Like if they put their real name, they would hear a knock at the door. And they would be under arrest immediately, like that type of situation. It feels like.
I honestly think that they, like, if you look at a bunch of their covers for movies and what they've named them, they're close enough. They could very much get sued. Like, I'm kind of surprised they haven't got some cease and desists from some things. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually kind of like, hey, let's just use pseudonyms for everything so we can kind of hide who we are. Because it really is. It has all of the energy. Like, look at them stuff that we're talking about, like the Uranus jokes. That is exactly the, like, fake Shrek and Elsa journey through the forest YouTube algorithm shit that's for kids that then also has, like, some random trolling jokes in it where they, like, sever off heads and stuff because they're like, oh, it'll be funny. See, we can rip people off and then put a stupid gross joke in it. Like, it's that. It's entirely that.
It's got to be something like that. It has to be.
It is. We watched it.
the fandom wiki link. This I don't know is correct because I haven't looked into it. So take it with a grain of salt. But the wiki said they also have apparently just straight up stolen films wholesale and put a new title on them from other companies. So I wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't doubt that with what I've seen.
No, not at all.
But I mean, this whole thing is just a big scam. It's weird. It's just a baffling fucking hole of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of movies.
Yes. Yeah, there's so many. Like, I just want to see stuff like.
You don't want to see it.
For example,
you don't want to see it.
I kind of do in a way. Like, think about this. This company did a movie called Earth Day that is a documentary that's take a tour around our planet as this comprehensive feature-length documentary explores the impact of human existence upon the Earth and what can be done to prevent ecological disaster. That's gotta be just stolen, right? There's no way that
it's not something they did. It can't be.
Like,
but they also made a documentary I saw on that list called Titanic. Guess what they're trying to get you to watch with Titanic? They also made another documentary called, you'll never believe this, it came out in 2023, Oppenheimer.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Which they're calling a documentary about the life of Oppenheimer in 2023. Like, it's not a movie. Whatever they put out is not a film. It's just something with the same name they're hoping to get you to watch for ad revenue. I guess.
I want to know what they think what do they think a documentary is? But again,
it doesn't have to be a documentary.
Yeah.
They can just put that in the description and then that.
I guess.
They don't have to make a documentary. What do you think this is? A movie? Come on.
But it really does show though. Like, I wonder what movies came out because that was, I think, 2017. Was it? Yeah,
for
Earth Day was 2017. Yeah. So I'm like, what film, like, what was there a Planet Earth that came out that year? There's gotta be, right? Like, I feel like these are all very obvious analogs of specific movies that they're trying to do a quick fakey out on you or get people that, like, search up, like, Planet Earth documentary or something and might accidentally hit theirs and be like, oh, this one also looks interesting.
Yeah.
Like, they have all of the Bible movies and then they have all these kids movies, but then they also have, like, right around 2017, they have a bunch of these movies that are like Baby Fever, this raunchy girl-powered comedy. They have, like, all of these, look at all these cool up-and-coming female directors. They have one called #She, and, like, different stuff like that where they're like, people are really big into, like, women directors and, feminism. So let's just throw that into all of our movies and pretend that that's what they're about. And I almost have this sick obsession of like, what do these end up being? Like they had one that, oh God, was like a bunch of, specifically it was like, oh, it's a bunch of lesbians. And I'm like, oh God, I can just imagine how well they handle that. Like,
wasn't there, Bridesmaids or something like that? That's probably old,
yeah,
something like that. I'm sure it was something similar.
Yeah, okay, this is the one I was thinking. Girls Like Magic. Girls Like Magic explores the blurring lines of friendship between Magic, a naive, people-pleasing Brit, and Jamie, a hard-edged, self-sabotaging lesbian, as they fall for each other in more ways than one. 2017, because like,
I almost think there has to be a separation from the real actor and the animation stuff they make, though. There has to be some sort of separation there, because you can't just reuse clips of people talking back and forth in a circle for real life actors, right? Like, you have to pay the actors. When it comes to animation, it's just, I don't know, just fucking copy paste. Who gives a shit, right? Like,
yeah, they had like 3 voice actors too for this movie, by the way. Like, it's
I noticed. Don't worry,
I needed to let it's not just for you; it's for everyone
don't
listening.
Worry, I fucking know.
They have like 3 people doing 25 voices, and it's extremely obvious because they are not voice actors. No, the voices are this. Oh, I'm the mayor, I talk like this. Well, I'm the son, so I talk like this. Well, I'm the cop, so I talk like this. Like, it's just...
It's real obvious, yeah.
And the Italian elephant that's, oh, mamma mia, mwah, oh, perfecto. What we are going to do is we are going to clamp at their balls and torture them to death.
But, like, you can't do that with a live-action film, is what I'm saying. It would be way more obvious, you know?
I mean... But they don't care. Once you've bought the movie on the streaming service, you're not going to get your refund. Like,
I take it back. They can do that. They
can do that.
They probably did that. That's probably true. Yeah.
Let's rate the dogs. Right? We're done.
I guess.
I think that we've got to make sure that we don't do any more of this company, by the way.
400. How?
Yeah. Like, we're
so
not going to... And if this is the movie that we're getting... We've seen it. It's Star Paws. It's just talking heads back and forth for an hour.
God, I wish there was the talking heads back and forth for an hour. That'd be a way better movie.
Okay. I would absolutely.
This is not My Beautiful Wife. This is not My Beautiful House. Now, I would watch that. That'd be a good movie.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just those tight shots of like a character model talking, and
we've seen the whole thing at this point.
That's their whole repertoire. We don't need to do this another 50, 60, 100, 300, 400 times for people to understand what this is.
The dogs.
It's like the Asylum movies.
There's Bob, who likes sniffing asses. That's the one thing I got from Bob. That's his favorite thing. And the Roomba.
Well, he also tongues Uranus.
No, that was
was that a different
was
dog?
The other dog. That was Arf the pirate, maybe, or a different.
Oh,
sailor?
You're right. No, that was Arf the pirate.
One of them. Bob is mayor because his dad gave him his position after being elected mayor, and that's definitely corruption of some kind. Bob should get guillotined. That's my rating. His friend Chester...
I rate all of these dogs a neoliberal out of...
Neoliberal? Maybe, yeah. They're all the same fucking dog.
I found a shirt at one point that was Neo-Libra, all like
a Libra?
The astrological sign. Yes,
Jesus
Libra.
Christ.
That's this movie.
There's Barney Lockjaw, who is definitely...
Absolutely not Donald Trump.
No, I don't think Barney is Donald Trump. Actually, I think
the other one.
Barney is the Rudy Giuliani of this.
Oh God, yeah, God, you're right. You're right. You know what? You're right.
And Rich is the Trump.
You're right.
And they both suck ass.
His dog wags the Hunter Biden out of 10.
And the worst thing I have to say about them is that they made them have a valid point and then said that was bad. And I don't know what the fuck they were trying to say.
They didn't either. What they were trying to say is, please accidentally buy this movie, but don't watch it all the way through.
Yeah, that's all I can say about the dogs. And Ryan Paulin, who I'm assuming is a dog. The director.
Bad boy.
Bad dog.
Bad Ryan. Bad dog.
I guess sometimes you pick a movie and you step on a rake, and this was a rake. I get it, you know?
We've hit it twice. We're not hitting it a third time. No more WoW entertainment,
no more Sideshow
family
Bob
free and tea movies, or whatever the fuck this company is. All of their 20 toe jams, or... Christ.
Well, that's probably one of them, too, to be fair, yeah.
So I think that's the end for Dogtown 3/2/ God, whatever the fuck this pile of shit is. I still can't believe there's no Dogtown 1. I mean, I can, but also... God, what a slimy way to do it. To be like, ooh, this movie was good enough that it's gotten a bunch of different ones. And Dogtown 2 and Dogtown 3 got released, like, the same time.
It was like a year apart, but...
No, they're
Wasn't
both
it?
2020. No, they're both 2022.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no. They just released both of them.
They spent 2 afternoons on these?
Exactly. Like that's what it is. They just released both of them at the same time and they go, "Look, this is obviously a big series. Your kids will love it. There's 2 other ones. It must be popular." Yep, that's what they do. There's a lot of stuff on their repertoire that I've seen that is like listed as like they had Cinco de Danzo or something like that. I think it was called that, Cinco de Danzo 3.
Oh,
but no 1 or 2.
Because of Coco.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
No.
Fuck.
Well,
this is... Yeah.
If you liked listening to this trash, you can support us, I guess, at Patreon.
I need to be paid for this. I really do. We're not making any money on this, really. We're just basically covering costs, but I would love to be paid for this, because we really should be.
This was a punishment. This was like listening to a chalkboard with nails just grating against it for 55 to 65 minutes, broken up by ads. The sweet, blissful distraction. The
Respite
ads.
of an advertisement. Yeah.
You can also follow us on Blue Sky, as well as co-host for Rough Cuts Cast, I believe, or just Rough Cuts.
At Rough Cuts Cast on... at Rough Cuts on both of those, sorry.
I think it's just Rough Cuts. And you can also email us at roughcutscast@gmail.com.
Correct, yes.
Correct.
There you go.
We
did it. We fried our frontal lobes for the last hour, staring into the NFT.
Drooling.
Lights, just... Oh. I needed to VR helmet myself into this one because, this was a movie that as I was watching it, I was listening and then I would be like, wait, what did they say? Like, I would just, because I would find myself, like, I have like a mug of coffee here and I would just be like, staring at my mug of coffee, because what else do you hold on to at a certain point? Like, I'm looking at like the waveform files going up and down and just blanking.
I started looking for the assets they were using, but I was looking up Unity instead of Unreal because I didn't realize what engine they were using, and I'm sure I could find those if I put enough time and effort in. But then the movie
easily
ended, so
yeah. Wow, so you spent more time researching assets than they did writing this.
I guess.
Have a good night, or week, or whatever, and we'll see you later.
Remember, always be yourself, kids.
And it's not blackmail if there's nothing they did wrong.
And you don't get caught.
No cops can charge you. It's a free space. Lawyers don't want you to know this one weird trick.
Oh, it's only blackmail if you have something to hide.
My whole life ruined by dogs.